Suicide Squad is a movie released in 2016, directed by David Ayer. At the time, it was the third movie in the DCEU. Well, I guess it still is, technically. And superhero fatigue hadn't quite set in for me yet. What that means is I was really fucking excited for this movie. I thought this was going to be the film that changed the course for the DCEU. I thought Jared Leto was going to be amazing, and I thought I was going to get something really special out of this movie. What I got was quite possibly the most disappointing theater experience of my entire life. And it's also a contender for the worst comic book movie of the decade. When I was watching this movie, I kept thinking to myself, wow, I wish I was watching Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman right now. Zack Snyder, I kinda got a love-hate relationship with. His DCEU entries haven't been good at all so far, but there's definitely a certain style and charm to those first two movies. Even though they suck ass, there's a good movie hidden in both of those films somewhere. I cannot say the same about Suicide Squad. Zack Snyder is like that annoying little cousin at family events that you kind of want to like kick in the face, but you still love them and respect them to some degree. David Ayer is like the uncle married into the family that you're pretty sure raped somebody and you really just want as far away from as possible. I don't hate David Ayer. Honestly, I really like this guy's other work. He did Training Day, which I like. He also did End of Watch, which I like even more than Training Day. And he also did Fury, which I like less than Training Day, but still like nonetheless. And now he's done Suicide Squad, which I hate more than myself. I really don't think it's all David Ayer's fault though. Everything about this movie sucks. The editing, the acting, the characters, the dialogue, the story, the special effects, Jared Leto, it's all terrible. This movie is a complete and utter failure. The DCEU is batting 0 for 3 right now, and this is without a doubt the worst that we've had so far. So let's get into it, I guess. I'm gonna start with the editing. Usually I start with the plot and the story, but since it's debatable if this movie even has a plot, I'm gonna start with the editing. This is what I heard before I saw the movie. It was okay, but the editing sucked.
It does have some pacing issues, if not balance issues, periodically in this film.
I thought to myself, you know, normal people don't talk about a film's editing, so it must really be bad if it's even noticeable. Within the first 5 minutes, I realized saying that the editing to this movie's bad is like saying the acting in a porno's bad.
I see you don't have a lifeguard here at your beach.
I'm not at the beach, this is a bathtub.
The editing in this movie is literally the worst that I've seen in a superhero film since Captain America 1990. The scenes in this movie, there are no scenes in this movie, okay? Scenes, they don't begin, they don't end. There's no continuity within them. People will just go from standing to sitting in one shot. Watch this.
Don't waste my time then.
This is your lady.
Look, are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, that's your lady, Joker.
That's right.
Yeah. Yo, Jay.
That scene did not have a beginning, it did not have an ending, rising action, tension, nothing. The way they explain the characters too, wow. They give Will Smith and Harley Quinn like 15-minute backstories each, and all these other backstories are like 5 minutes total. And literally, the entire movie just feels like a trailer. To the characters. This is gonna be a long one because there are a lot of characters in this movie. So I guess we'll start with my favorite character of the movie, Harley Quinn. And saying she's my favorite doesn't mean I like her. I'll rephrase it. She's the least terrible character. How about that? All I like about her is Margot Robbie gets the mannerisms down, and I kind of bought her as this character. But she doesn't really serve a purpose to the plot. The writers try to make her funny, and it fails completely.
Love your perfume. What is that? The scent of death?
That's all I really have to say about her. Will Smith. Will Smith is supposed to play Deadshot, but he doesn't. He plays Will Smith.
And so I wasn't Deadshot. I wasn't Deadshot at all.
Lots of people say his character's good. I think you're mistaken and blinded by the fact that it's Will Smith playing Will Smith. I love the stuff that this guy has done. Don't get me wrong. But he's got to give me something other than...
That's not true. That's a lie. She's lying to you. What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
He's just not good here. And that's sad because he's literally my favorite actor in the movie. El Diablo. This guy has the most potential and is easily the most interesting backstory, but all we get to see of him is the stupid basic yelling upward shot from X-Men Origins. It was dumb then and it's dumb here. And it totally compromises the intensity and intrigue of him killing his family. Enchantress. This is probably the worst villain out of the entire DCEU. She does nothing, has no character arc, and she's only entertained me when she's like dancing around like a fucking idiot. Like, who the fuck decided making her move around like that was a good idea? Batman. Batman's barely worth mentioning because by the time I'm finished with this sentence, it'll be more time than the screen time he had in the movie. Slipknot. Who? Captain Boomerang. I've never seen this actor in something good before, and this character is fucking stupid too. Like literally, he's fucking stupid. Entertainingly stupid at times, but he throws boomerangs at people. That's it. That's this character. Killer Croc. I respect that they used some practical effects, but it still doesn't look good. This character has nothing. He contributes nothing, and he does nothing. The whole movie. He just kinda goes, yeah, oh yeah. Amanda Waller. Big, generic, bad, black bitch. Rick Flag. All they give this character is the fact that he's in love with the main villain. I think. It doesn't really give, it doesn't give you any time to care, dude. Here's how it's edited.
I assigned him to watch Dr. Moon, and just as I hoped, it got personal.
Are you gonna kiss me or not?
I have the witch's heart.
And he has to destroy the Enchantress's heart, and if he does, it'll kill the girl who he fell in love with. So he destroys the heart, but it doesn't kill the girl. She doesn't die. Just the evil bitch, the Enchantress. Okay. Well, last up, this is my least favorite character in the whole movie. Jared Leto. Don't let the brain-dead fanboys and fangirls lie to you. Jared Leto gave the worst portrayal of the Joker I've ever seen. I'd rather have Tommy Wiseau playing the Joker.
Have you ever danced with a devil in the pale moonlight? Did you? No, but I did. No, I'm just ahead of the curve. Why? So serious? Why so serious? Why so serious? Why so serious?
This is not the Joker. The only people that like this guy, or the movie really, are those who made up their mind before they watched it.
I want to be good. I want him to be good. He is a psychotic, chaotic asshole. However you want to display or portray that,
Trust me, it's true. These people exist. I wanted to love this movie too, guys, but you gotta stop lying to yourself. This dude is horrible, and so is this movie. It takes more than shaving your eyebrows and sending people shit behind the scenes to understand the character of the Joker. They try to make him sexy too, so it appeals to the brain-dead females and gets them wet in their panties so they pay $10 to see him on screen for 5 fucking minutes. The Joker's not supposed to be sexy. He's supposed to be gross, creepy, unnerving, but still interesting. This guy's just crazy. The Joker's so much deeper than just crazy, and there are 2 masterpieces that capture that perfectly. Most people's argument is that he isn't liked because he's barely in the movie, and if that he were in it more, we'd like him more. I call bullshit. I hated everything we got. Every second this guy was on screen, I wanted to commit Suicide Squad.
Want no beef? You don't want no beef? You don't want no beef?
You don't like me?
So why would I want more? Fuck this guy. He's my least favorite character in the whole movie, and is a disgrace to my favorite villain of all time. Moving on, it's trying to copy Marvel. Anyone out there remember the trailers? The first one was dark and ominous. It got me really invested and excited. The second one was more upbeat and lighthearted. And the third one was just fucking... This is because halfway through production they were like, oh, Marvel's successful because they're more upbeat and lighthearted. No, Marvel's successful because they can make good movies, dick. So they took everything, threw in random bursts of color here and there, added generic pop songs, and now it's Guardians of the Galaxy, but for DC. Oh yeah, another thing that pisses me off is when people say that this movie's good because of its soundtrack. No? So what? They took Margot Robbie's music playlist and put it in the film. This doesn't make a movie good. They're just songs everyone likes, so you're tricked into thinking the movie's good. These songs weren't written for the movie. Back to Guardians of the Galaxy. Normally I don't like to compare a DC film with a Marvel film, film, but since the DC film that I'm reviewing is copying from the Marvel film that I'm comparing it to, it's only fair to compare it to it, right? See, the reason pop songs fit so well in Guardians of the Galaxy is because they actually matter to the plot to that movie as well. Star-Lord's connection to those songs made you care in a way, and they're fun classics too, you know? This one just kind of throws in a good song where it doesn't fit at all. Show, don't tell. This is a big complaint I have with a lot of fucking movies, where the characters tell us something so we have that knowledge, but it would have been better represented if it were like shown to us. Let's talk about Spider-Man for a second. We see him get bit by the spider. We see him develop his powers. We see Uncle Ben get shot. We see him become the superhero over like the first 30 to 45 minutes of the movie. Because of this, we care about Peter as a character. Imagine if we didn't get that. Imagine the movie opens and he's Spider-Man already. And then a voiceover tells you everything that happened leading up to that in about 15 seconds. You wouldn't give a shit, right? Well, that's what they do in Suicide Squad. For every fucking character. It's so annoying. The first quarter of this movie is just backstory after backstory and useless narration. Let me learn about these guys by seeing them interact with one another and react to situations. Writers are like, nope, we're gonna spoon feed you fucking everything in the cheesiest way possible. The action's bad. Like, the action's... You know what? Okay. I love action movies. There's some great action movies out there. Like Mad Max Fury Road. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at the beauty. Just look at it. Or look at John Wick. Look at that cinematography and the stunt work. Just this is art, man. I don't even know how they fucking did this. It's so awesome. In Suicide Squad, they shoot some shapes of CGI that appear from off screen, and you never really get to see anything exciting happen on screen. They're just so lazy. It's baffling that they can't even have one competent, exciting action scene in the entire movie. Not one. Even Batman vs. Superman has cool action scenes. That's because that's what Zack Snyder does best. That warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman is fucking awesome. Like, I don't care how shitty that movie is. That scene is really cool, okay? These are some of the worst action scenes I've ever seen in a comic book movie. It's like almost Catwoman level bad. So why do people like this movie? I cannot think of one redeeming quality of the entire film. Not one good, memorable, or even decent scene. Oh wait, okay, I lied. There's a scene where Batman punches Harley. And I don't like the scene because it's cool. I like seeing women get punched in the face. Whether it's in a movie or real life, you know what I mean? Suicide Squad, to me, is the definition of a failure. I give this movie an F. Don't get me wrong, there are much worse comic book films out there. Much worse. But there's like a bad to good spectrum, you know? Like, there's an enjoyment spectrum. There you go. Suicide Squad falls right in the middle of the boring section. It's like, it's not so bad that it's good and enjoyable like Batman and Robin. It's so bad that it's bad. It's boring. It's dull. There's no rewatchability. There's nothing. It's probably my least favorite DCEU movie, actually. There's one other competitor, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But next up is Wonder Woman. We're almost halfway done with the DCEU, and I'm glad that I no longer ever have to talk about or watch Suicide Squad ever again.